Please give us a small introduction of your company.
So we are National Engineering Industries. NBC is our brand name, and we are a part of CK Birla Group. And this company was founded in 1946. So we are the first Indian bearing company, and also the largest Indian bearing company. So we are present in the whole complete sphere of Indian industry, be it automotive, be it railways, be it industrial. We are also now into aerospace, and also we are exporting to almost 30 countries around the world. So we are, you can say that we are largely into bearings.
What market scenario and growth of bearings do you see in next 5 years?
Yeah, I think bearing is expected to grow at 7.6%. This is what normally the predictions are, that it will grow by 7.6. Now this will vary from segment to segment. Like if you look at passenger car, their segment, the growth would be almost 4%, because you know that IC engines are going out, so a lot of electric vehicles are coming in. But if you look at industry is also bound to grow by almost 8%. Railways around 6%, but in overall 7.6% is the estimation at which the bearing industry will grow.
So what challenges do you see in transforming a bearing from conventional to modern design?
Okay, I think there are a lot of changes which is happening now. Let's start with automotive. If you look at automotive now, IC engines are going away and you are coming, electric mobility is coming in. That changes the complete how the bearings will work. In IC engine there were a lot of locations where bearings were used. Now you need a bearing which is much quieter, much smoother, and should have much more features, like probably sensing the having an integrated sensor. If you look at industrial side of it, industrial sides, the changes are even much more rampant. There is a lot of intervention of industry 4.0 now. So if you look at what we are also showcasing here is that a world of class 4.0 solution, whereby customer can not only see that when the bearing is going to fail, can not only predict, but also can see that how the bearing is behaving. So I think that will change. Second thing is the speeds are increasing. So if you look at paper machines earlier were at moderate speed. Now everyone is making a very high speed paper machines. So those machines are changing. So that will means that you need to make bearings which are much more energy efficient, much more has a better super finish. So all these requirements are changing.
See, the industry consistently embraces new technology. How do your products deliver on productivity and profitability?
Yes, if you look at see whatever new solutions are coming now, I will bucket this into two parts. One is the conventional bearing, second is the state-of-art new technologies which are coming in. Now, if you look at a new technology, we have this sensor. If someone is installing, say, 1000 sensors, he will be paying, say, roughly 1 lakh rupees a month. And so if you look at the total investments which he will do, 10 lakh rupees a month, if you look at the total investment which he will do, his return of investment can be as low as 17 days. Because imagine if it stops one unplanned shutdown of a paper plant, who is making writing paper, and avoids shutdown of say 2 hours. 2 hour shutdown, if you multiply that by the cost of paper which it will produce, the whole investment is recovered within few hours. So this is the technology side of it. If you look at the conventional bearing side of it, see, there are two things which comes in bearing. One is that if your bearing which we are producing has a better capacity in terms of load, in terms of load carrying capacity, in terms of speed limitations, then you will have a better service life. And if you are paying less for that, achieving that service life, that your return of investment again will be very, very low. So I think from these two perspectives, the return of investment in both the products, whether it is services or bearings, is very, very low.
AI is steadily increasing its industry footprint. It appears poised to dominate the market within the next decade. How do you envision your growth alongside AI?
Now I think AI implementation, if you look at NEI, we have done this implementation very smoothly when it comes to manufacturing. Today most of our manufacturing setup is AI enabled. Most of them are digitized, so you can take the data from one machine, understand how this machine will behave. So this is already implemented on the manufacturing side. Now coming to the product side, that how the AI will change. As of now, the products which everyone is making, with the invention of this Industry 4.0 solutions, you have a lot of AI enablement possibilities. It will happen. I think it has not happened so far, but I think I'm
And
guessing
next
it
decade,
will
I'm
happen.
talking about the next decade.
Yes, it will happen. I think today the database which you have on your Industry 4.0 solutions are limited to certain pockets. Once you implement AI on this, then the whole world is your data. So then a data which is taken in Europe may be valid in India. So I think from that perspective, this will change, and this is where AI, NBC is also making a lot of investments. And
So you're working?
yeah, we are already working on AI. We are already implementing AI on sales. We have already implemented in digital side. So I think a lot of this has been done.
The bearing market is notoriously complex. What challenges do you foresee and what solutions do you offer to mitigate them?
You are talking only specific to
specific
paper,
paper industry.
Specific to paper industry. Now, if you look at paper industry, there are three major challenges which paper industry faces. The one is since paper industries are working in remote locations also, they are largely dependent on the supply chain which is available to them. So some of them are still using a lot of spurious bearings. So that's one area which is a big concern for all the paper industry. So we have a very unique solution that each of our bearing is marked with a unique number, and that unique number, when you use a app and you put that number, it will tell you whether it is a genuine product or it is not a genuine product. So that is the first challenge which industry is facing. Second challenge which industry is facing, that industry today runs at around 70-80% of the capacities. Like
depending on the market size.
yeah, so their capacity utilization is 70-80% because keeping the what demand they are getting. Now, but during that period, they have to ensure that the plant runs with the full efficiency, and they cannot afford even one single unplanned shutdown. So this is the second challenge which these industries faces, and the most of these comes because of the environment which is there. There are a lot of moisturizer, there is a lot of ingress of water which happens, the grease get out. So that is the second challenge which we are trying to achieve. We have around 12 application engineer who now works with customer, can talk to customer, can work out a solution which can help them in avoiding this shutdown. The third is I think the supply chain. Most of these paper industry, when they are dependent on imported bearings, which is primarily currently is being supplied by other manufacturers, you have to wait sometime as high as 7 months, 8 months for the bearings. And that supply chain makes you, a typical plant would keep a inventory of almost a year for a bearing, which is a cost to them. This is where we can pitch in. Since our plant is in Jaipur, we have a very high flexible lines, we can make it very fast. So we can offer these products to the customer at a very short interval. So these are the three things which we are trying to do in paper industry.
Could you share a case study involving a particularly difficult challenge that you successfully resolved with your bearing solutions?
I will give you one example which is not related to paper industry, but it is related to steel industry. In steel industry, where wire rod is made, this saria which you call. So there you have a lot of bearing failures happening, and the problem is not bearing failure. That is unique.
Due to what?
Because of the high speed and ingress of water.
Okay.
Now, failure of the bearing is not a big problem there because it is designed such a way that it lasts only 24 hours. The life is only 24 hours. But the condition is that in 24 hours it should not fail. If it fails, the wire gets cobbled. So when wires get cobbled, then you have to clean the complete line again, and then you have to restart the machine. So imagine the cost it would be coming on the customer. So we designed a bearing which is called a special bearing for guide box bearing, where we used a better material. We are using a polyamide cage. So even if the bearing fails, it doesn't allow the wire to get cobbled. So that's one solution which we have implemented. Second solution which comes to my mind is one large spherical roller bearing, one sample which you can see there, around 710 bore, 1 meter in diameter. So one of the customer who was asking for this bearing, and they were getting this bearing from competition for all, after a year, we could supply this them in 3 months. So these are the few things which comes to our mind.
What recommendation would you provide to paper mills to enhance bearing longevity?
I think one, start with buy good bearings and from authenticated sources. So that is one thing. Second is you make a lot of investment on bearings, but invest also in products which are associated with bearings.
Correct.
So if you use a high quality bearing but a low quality sleeve or a low quality plumber block, you will not get life. So that's the second thing which they should do. Third thing is invest in predictive maintenances like this Industry 4.0 tools, which will help you in predicting that what is getting wrong with my machine. Because this not only tells you what is wrong with bearing, it also tells you if there is something wrong with your system, like imbalance, like there is a misalignment. So it tells you a complete story. Fourth, do a complete plant check. I think we can help our paper industry there. We can do the complete plant check and tell them which grease is to be used where, because of the late this has become a fad in paper industry that everyone says that you should use high temperature greases. Now high temperature greases, if you use in an area where temperature is not high, it will be counterproductive. So this is where we can help. We can work with paper industry and find out what best can we do.
While the industry focuses on its end product, suppliers provide the specialized expertise needed for the allied products. How do you approach regular maintenance and management to optimize performance?
Problem in bearing is that even if I spend, in India there are around 242 paper mills. So imagine if I have to hire 242 people to plant every engineer at all the location. I have a solution to that. This Industry 4.0 solution, if you put on your machine, by sitting in my office, I can check whether your machines are running right or not.
They will allow?
Why not? There are, in cement industry...
Data privacy is met.
No, but data is all theirs. Data is not with us. It only captures acceleration and velocity. Today in steel industry, there are 24,000 such sensors working. In cement industry, there are already 16,000 sensors working.
Okay.
So already India has adopted 40,000 sensors. So it's not that this is something which is new. The only thing is paper industry so far has not gone for it.
Yeah, that's it.
Writing paper, yes, Khanna is taking a lead in that. So they are starting with the first installation. Okay. Of course, some other brand, but they are taking the first.
Anything you want to add, sir?
I think this is from our side.